let me introduce myself to you, and that also gives you some background information about how we got started with Love Social Media. I've been in sales and marketing for over 30 years now. I started in 1981 at IBM as a sales trainee. And I was fortunate to actually have the 9-month IBM sales trainee school, which gave me a tremendous background for my further career. Worked for IBM in the Netherlands, and after 3 years I had to make that lifetime decision. Either I'm going to stay with IBM for the rest of my life, or I move on. And I decided to move on, and I joined a company called Unisys as a sales manager, and soon I moved into the marketing, and I always had an ambition to move into international marketing. So when Unisys offered me the opportunity to move to England to work for the European headquarters of Unisys, I didn't have to think long about that. So I took my bag and my family, and we came to England, and I started working for the European division for Unisys in business development and in sales training. After a few years, I had to make the decision: either I go back to the Netherlands or I move on to other places to work for Unisys in other places in the world. And I then had the opportunity from Unisys to move to America, actually to have a few years of work experience in Silicon Valley. And that's where I really got into the technology and into the new technology, and I had my first sort of encounters with the online marketing. I was one of the first in our offices to actually demonstrate the internet to customers that were visiting our PC demo center. I then had to move back to the Netherlands for various reasons, and I left Unisys. I joined Logica, and over the years I started to develop myself more and more as an international marketing guy with more and more expertise in online marketing. Which in the mid-2000s, when I had left Logica and I started my own marketing consultancy, I had my first sort of touches, the first experiences with social media in the online gaming and how to use Facebook to promote various games through social media. So I got to build my experience in social media, and I fell in love with it. Yeah, I have not seen a bigger change in my career as we see today with social media. And this is not just a change that happens overnight. This is a generational change, yeah, of a fundamental change in the way businesses go do their business. And if businesses do not change, they will not make it. And there's been examples already of businesses that have not changed in the music industry, in the video industry, yeah, where they did not move to the online world, and they're no longer there, those businesses. So that's what really caught me is, guys, we're on to something big here. So I started developing my social media marketing skills in various scenarios. I did big social media projects for companies like Unilever, Global Radio, IPC Media, and I felt like, hey, I'm here on something that I really want to start sharing with the business community. So about 2 years ago, I took the brave step to resign from the business I then worked for, because I felt now it's time to start following my dream, and that is sharing my passion for social media. So at that stage, I started marc.campman.com, which was me as a social media marketing expert, sharing my experiences with small businesses, large businesses, everybody that was interested in this. And I started running workshops in my living room for local businesses that I met through local networking events. And I just had a small, just a 2-3 hour workshop, didn't charge a lot of money for it, but people really got onto this, and they said, Marc, I really like this workshop. What you're doing here, actually, would you mind doing that for my company? Do you mind doing that for the management team of our business? So soon I moved my training from my living room to the boardroom, and I started training businesses on social media in all different places across the UK. At that stage, I also built sort of the 5-step approach that we now have with Love Social Media as well, that we captured as the flirt. like a 5-step approach on how to set your business up for social media. And the logical step for that was when businesses went through that training, they said, Mark, really good, but I don't have the time to implement those 5 steps. Can you actually help me in the implementation? Yeah, so that was where the training became almost like a stepping stone to further consultancy work. So I felt I was onto something there, and I felt, hey, I'm just a one-man band. I need to step up if I really want to capture all the opportunities that are out there. And by that time, I met my current business partner, Marc. Marc Young. He runs a training. He's the owner of the Academy class, which is one of the biggest Adobe training centers in the UK. They run training for Adobe products, for Autodesk, and those training areas where technology meets creativity. Marc was very keen on starting a social media training company. I wanted to step up as well and to have a more robust sort of presence in the market. So together, Marc and I started Love Social Media. And we've been going from strength ever since. Yeah, we started running workshops in our training centers, but soon, obviously, the reference selling is so important here. Many people that attended our workshops, they said, hey, can you do this here? Or I know somebody there. So soon we started running workshops across the UK, now running workshops in the Netherlands, and we now also run lots of social media training in Dubai for the Middle East. All in all, I'm really excited about this. Yeah, it's a passion that I have. It's and I hope I can bring that experience into my social media workshops. I always say my differentiator is my gray hair. I'm not a nerd, I'm not a techie, but I've been in the seats of the people I train. I've been a marketing director, I've been in sales, I've been in business development. I understand the issues of an HR manager. Yeah, and I can relate the subjects that I train, I can relate the social media to the business issues and the business challenges that my students have. And somehow I think that works, because the feedback that we're getting from our classes are really, really powerful and very, very helpful. So if you're excited about this, just go and have a look at our website, www.lovesocialmedia.com, or check my blog on markcampman.com or the Love Social Media blog to find out more about how we think. And feel free to give us a call so we can discuss your requirements. And we're looking forward to seeing you in one of our next social media workshops.